It's my Y Heavyweight Champion, Big Billy Gold. You're watching BJ and DG Talk Wrestling, and that's gold. That's Billboard Billy Gold, and this is gold. This is Billboard BJ and DG Talks Gold.
Welcome back, everybody. BJ here, DG there.
What's up, everybody? We are on the heels of Backlash.
That we are. And
Was an
even though we
interesting
did,
show.
even though we did a watch along last night, there's still some things that we could say that weren't said. Some speculation that has come out after the event, things of that nature.
Sounds about right. Sounds about right. But that was last night. We still have some stuff to talk about that happened before then. Even though we
Yep.
did our Raw watch along, we can recap some of that stuff. And again, I'll say it, pretty much the opening and closing segments of stuff we saw in ring this week really did mirror each other, as it being a lot of family oriented type stuff, a lot of history brought up that wasn't necessarily always brought up before. I loved every Steiner reference made for Braun.
Yeah. Yeah, and every Samoan reference by CM Punk, Or not CM Punk, Fatu rather. I'm thinking, which show are we watching?
We're watching them all.
They're all one big show in my brain.
Oh yeah, real quick before we get any further, happy birthday to Kid Legend as well. Happy Mother's Day, everybody.
Happy Mother's Day, Kid Legend. I mean, happy Mother's Day to Kid Legend's wife, and happy birthday to Kid Legend, and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out
Yes.
there. I expect us to have that graphic up today.
Steven Chambers in the chat. How you doing?
Happy Mother's Day, Stephen Chambers.
Well, hello, puppers. My dog all of a sudden just teleported right next to me. No effort whatsoever. Well, Tara, that's a sweet message and all. Shut up, Tara!
Tara, hello, happy Mother's Day. Yeah.
Yeah, but as we were, so I guess we could kind of combine stuff here, We had the whole Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker thing play out the show for Monday Night Raw, where these two were just constantly, I had a couple times where they were at each other. Seth Rollins pretty much on his own now because of all the bridges he's burned. So we get the Backlash and the match between him and Braun Breaker, which was a fantastic match to open the show. ESPN got their money's worth with that one.
Oh yeah, it went. I think it was something like 22 minutes, something like that. Oh, nice. Yeah, they ESPN definitely got their money's worth. ESPN viewers, that is.
Yeah, on ESPN 2, I believe it was. But yeah, that match, debatably the match of the night.
Yeah. I mean, breakers just all go. I could also argue that Fatu and Reigns was match of the night, but that ending I come kind of soured on the match after that. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna say match of the night.
Yeah, again, how Raw was. We started with that, and then Backlash ends. Said had both these just sandwiched in. as the outside part, as the pieces of bread. But I absolutely love the match they did. Like, Rollins was on point, fighting off the outside interference, which even in the end kind of backfires, and it still helped enough for Braun to pick up the win. But just to say, we said this during the live stream last night. How much energy do these guys have, and how much do they have in their tanks? Because there was no stopping during that match. You want to talk about all gas, no brakes.
Yeah, like Rollins, there was a little bit of like he would get the edge and just rest, but Breaker, if he had the advantage, if he wasn't recovering, he was on Seth. Just just insane intensity.
Oh man,
Yeah,
the match was great.
honestly, all the action on the card was fine, if not great.
Yeah, like it was all solid action. Everything did what it was supposed to do. We have still 4 other matches to talk about, plus the John Cena announcement, which is we got a lot of bare bones stuff with that, a lot of basics. Like, I'm still interested to know what the show's going to be. Is it going to be some standalone TV thing? Will it be a PLE? Will it be something that goes over like the course of a month, culminating in some type of pay-per-view type thing? Like, we got very little for it, to be perfectly honest. Which is
Yeah.
weird. Usually WWE doesn't do that and leave you hanging with just speculating. They kind of tell you. Because, like a couple things I said, this could be something like the Continental Classic. But then the title is named after John Cena. So,
Yeah, which I
does
don't
that
like
mean
him
this?
there. Like, that's one reason I do not like this. Like,
Like,
why does
there's
he have to
just a
have his
lot.
name on a belt?
I mean, and I'm assuming that wasn't necessarily his decision.
Even so, is there any other title in wrestling right now with like besides a legacy like the Trent Acid with someone's name on it like that?
No. Not in this case. And we're talking, which Steven Chambers in the chat. If you go, I think, on Danhausen or WWE's Instagram or TikTok page, there's a video of them doing a Gru and Minions like short video, and it was freaking hilarious.
Well, with Leo Rush.
No, man, that was Chad Gable.
Can't convince me that wasn't Leo Rush.
But just like, and Cena was like very straightforward on social media when like hyping this. He's like, some of you are going to like it and some of you are going to hate it.
Hmm.
He even knew that this was a questionable thing of how it was being presented.
My main problem with this is it's like, okay, so it's going to be coming up sooner than later. Isn't King of the Ring coming up soon? Like, why do we have two tournaments coming up so close to each other? Like, and is it necessary? Like, honestly, is it going to be within storyline or is it, just going to be its own thing? Nope, Leo Rush.
Chad Gable. Look. It's Ludwig Kaiser.
Why would you even say that?
Yeah, why would I say that? Moving on, though. Because, we still got to talk about. Yeah, I just love that button. One more time.
Man, I got some color today.
It, like I said, like, regardless, like, I get the concept. It does seem like they're combining the King of the Ring with Taboo Tuesday, Cyber Sunday vibe.
Yeah,
And I've seen
there's a
other
reason
people
that those things were left
immediately.
in 25 years ago.
I mean, I think the idea of, and I've said this a couple times, the idea of bringing back something like Cyber Sunday in the day and age where social media is more dominant now, and it's not just people going on the website to vote. I think it could be something that would be a one, maybe every 2 years type thing, something that you just do special.
The,
But doing
the
it
worst
like
part of
this,
this, the worst part of this, it's like, oh, it doesn't matter who wins the match. The people are just going to vote for who wins.
yeah.
So
So
it's
does this
like
mean
a
that
popularity
Danhausen,
contest.
yeah, which is what? Why isn't it just called the People's Championship? And if this championship is to be defended regularly, does that mean, regardless of the winners or losers, the fans get to vote on the winner?
It sounds that way. I don't know. I
Like,
don't
there's
like it.
just so there. There's I don't like what I've heard, but I'm not going to bury it until I'm given more details, and then I'll hold the funeral like they did
Yeah,
for the gingerbread man.
it'll be oh, it'll be Oba versus Danhausen in the finals.
If Oba gets cursed, I'll stop and starts losing because of that. How much I love both of them, I will stop watching WWE because that is a horrible way to do that.
I'm already very close because I've been quiet about it, but like, there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that is not cool. Uh,
I mean, we can actually talk about that a little bit later because as details come out, like us as fans don't want to see this happen, but at the same time, I kind of get the business side of it because
it's like your boss
uh
walks up to you and it's like, "Hey, I know you've been doing a great job, but you know how you make $18 an hour? Well, either leave or either take $9 an hour or leave."
I mean, it's not exactly like that. That's kind of an exaggeration of the idea, considering that they are paid still on how many appearances they would be making in shows. So that's where the idea is coming in more. They're not doing house shows no more. A lot of these guys we only see actually in the ring on TV 2 to 3 times, but some of them taking a week off. And if you're not doing house shows and you're not doing all this other stuff that compensation was supposed to be there for, why would the company keep paying you for doing something that you're not doing?
Because it's a contract. Like, it
That
was what
since
you
they are
agreed
and
to.
since they are still considered individually contracted, and how their status is as pro wrestlers being individual contractors, they they can get away with no, which I get your side, and I don't think it should be a dramatic pay cut, but it's more of the
Up to
people.
half, I've heard.
It's depending on who it is. And it's whether if they don't. I think the idea is that there's no negotiation. That's more my problem with it, of coming to a middle ground. If it's just, hey, you're going to take this pay cut or we're releasing you. Okay. I don't blame the New Day. I wouldn't blame anybody from walking away. I'm just saying, like, of what's come out, I understand the business side of it, but how dramatic they're cutting it is more the issue than the fact that, like, hey, you are being paid more money than from when your contract was originally signed, and they do hold the right to renegotiate that.
So, right. But so ultimately, this leads to fewer wrestlers on each show, fewer matches on each PLE, fewer new fresh faces, more of the same, and more ads to fill the time. That's like all I'm like, the only good I'm saying, like, not even good, like the only thing I'm seeing coming in this.
I mean, if we also look at what's happened over the last couple of weeks, we had call ups and a lot of talents that were released for talents not really being used. Outside of Kyrie Zane, which was just mine, but that
But
was
she
more
wanted to
she
go
wanted
home.
to go home. Like she might have been burnt out or whatever.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know
actually,
what?
no, because now
Like,
the rosters are as small as ever. So, I mean, they might get a little bit more spotlight.
I don't feel like that at the moment. Javon Evans hasn't been lost in the shuffle at all. He's still been featured every week. You know, even though he was called up well before all this. But then Ethan Page has been put in good position so far. So Ruka's just starting.
Joe
Oba
Hendry's been
Fem,
involved.
yeah, Oba Femi just retired Brock Lesnar. Well, unbeknownst going into that match, that was going to be because speculation was
Right.
SummerSlam.
And now we can end the speculation, like I said last night, we can end the speculation of Paul Heyman's favor to Gunther being
Well,
to bring back Lesnar because his favor was bringing Gunther to SmackDown.
and getting him a WWE Championship match
And,
apparently.
and the title shot, of course.
Um, Ricky Saints. I mean, he might have lost to Cody, but he lost to the WWE champion. That doesn't hurt
And
him at
didn't
all.
was it Trick who lost to Cody as soon as he came up?
No,
Or who
I don't
was
think.
that? Yeah, it was,
Oh
wasn't it?
no. It was Carmelo Hayes.
Okay, yeah. And I mean, it didn't really hurt his momentum. It's just right now we're not seeing him.
No. It's nothing's been hurt. SmackDown's going to be going back to 2 hours soon, so them trimming that roster down a little bit also makes
Right.
sense. But then you still look at the call ups over there. Fatal Influence. Let's see. JC Jane went and picked up the win over Rhea. Picked up a win over Charlotte. Fatal Influence just picked up a 6-person tag team win over Rhea and Charlotte and Alexa Bliss. Even though there was an assist from Jade, and that led to a whole nother thing. But I think everybody's being positioned where they should be, and they shouldn't necessarily just have the spot right away. They should be earning it. And somebody like Ethan Page has already proved of what he can do and carry. He picked up a win pinning Penta in that tag team match last week.
I'm
He's going.
thinking that Stephen Chambers may have possibly been talking about the next crop of call-ups.
I mean, that's a wait and see. It's really hard to say because we gotta look. If we look at sometime in the next year, let's be honest. Randy Orton hasn't been seen till WrestleMania. He's taking time off right now. We clearly saw in that match with Cody when he hurt his back. I said that here, but I also said that because she's part of the group, she'll go up there and she's going to learn on the fly. That she's getting a spot that, hey, she was at the right place at the right time. Make the most of it.
I equate her to like kind of like Maxine. Like, okay, we're gonna put you at ringside for a while, and you're gonna do whatever. We might throw you in a match here and there, and this is your time, to prove your worth.
And if she's going to be tag teaming with Fallon Henley will be able to carry that. And they're going to be in the ring and traveling with people who are going to be able to help her.
Yeah.
Like, especially considering right now, look at who they're working with. Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, and Alexa Bliss. 3 of the top vets. I think she's injured. I think she got hurt.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Not a
sure.
bad injury, but healing up at the moment.
Yeah, I did hear that.
But in the end, with all this stuff, it just sucks now that, considering last year, they really didn't do many releases. There wasn't much movement last year as had been in previous years.
That's because the official word on that was like TKO had just bought, had just
Yeah.
made the merger, and they kind of wanted to like let things go how they were for a while until they could really like get into the numbers and. So they didn't want to like just come in and clean house. They wanted to like give the impression that like things would be different.
But we're at a point at the moment where it just comes on a bad time where there's a really sour taste and the majority of fans' mouths doing with what they're doing, and it was before all this other stuff, before the releases, because before WrestleMania we talked about it here, like All right, we're going to be getting to a point soon where we're going to be talking about WWE releases, and we've been waiting for this because it happens just about every year at this time.
I
So,
knew TKO was a bad thing, but it really hit me when the ESPN thing happened.
I mean, when it happened, the first thing I said is if I know anything from watching UFC in the past, they're going to do ads all over that ring. That's what they did. A lot of the stuff I expected, but then now where it comes to a lot of this other stuff, like the overkill of ads, so you're killing what made WWE WWE.
Yeah,
Like I talk about the entertainment thing all the time. And something like a Danhausen thing where, all right, we get a couple backstage things, but that's also something we should be seeing develop before his match on a PLE is another backstage
right.
segment with him.
Yeah.
Between the matches, like, oh, he's getting the cloning machine together. He's getting it ready to go out, to be
There
taken out.
was there was what, one backstage segment all
Two.
night? Two?
Two, I think it was two.
I know there's a Jackie Redmond interview, and I don't know what else.
I might be wrong, but I think there was a second one at some
But yeah, I
point.
mean, any other time for you look back at the last 40 years of wrestling, and when there's not action in the ring, there's silly stuff or interviews or something going on backstage. And then, mix in a vignette, have like, oh, this person is coming, but who is it? Do something like that. Just anything. Like, oh, it was so frustrating. Like, it was so, like you used to, like you still said, it's cookie cutter. And that's horrible. Like, you always know what to expect.
Uh, you know what? I mean, in the position, they kind of run the WWE side of everything, but in the end, it's not even them getting contract extensions. It's the actual board members being able to look up those numbers and seeing them. It's like, so the impression you're giving is you're cutting all these other people to give all the shareholders and board members raises and then taking care of the execs that are running this company for you, and you're telling them how to run it into the ground. Like, I would love a something like, my fear is 10 years from now we're going to be seeing a dark side of the ring or something like that talking about the WWE.
Oh, yeah. I
Because
can see
again,
within the next 5 years, Triple H resigning.
WWE can't be marketed like boxing. Yeah, like it can't be marketed like UFC. It can't be marketed like boxing.
It's a different animal.
It's a different animal and a different beast. And if you wanted to buy into this, fine. You wanted it under your umbrella. That's fine.
Stephen
But
King.
but you know what you should be doing? Letting the people that know about pro wrestling do pro wrestling.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Like, leave it to the pros.
and the crazy thing is, you have The Rock on your board, who you could literally just have overseeing stuff. Because as far as I know, him and Triple H have a good relationship. He has a good relationship with the majority of that roster. So what would the problem be putting somebody there just like, hey, we still need this to feel like pro wrestling.
Right.
Which no,
It
I can't
really,
believe.
it's starting to not.
Yeah, which I never thought I would say about WWE, even under the Vince era. Like, this isn't good WWE, but it's still, we would see the matches, and it's like, it's everything else around the matches. And now we're getting less matches, more ads. And then when we do get matches, it's it's just ridiculous because then some things feel rushed
Yeah, yeah. Not just rushed,
or
like,
dropped. How many story stuff have we? Which is why I stand by NXT is the best product weekly that WWE puts out
oh, yeah,
by
because
far.
TKO doesn't care about it.
And even if they do, there's not as much pressure on that brand
Right.
to do what they're doing. They're just going out there and putting on solid shows every week.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's like the heart and soul is gone from WWE, you know?
Yeah.
It's hard to feel any other way at this point. With between all the firings, the pay cuts, everything that's going down, the ticket prices, the all the streaming services, just everything. It's just uncontrolled greed, and it's really starting to get, if I wasn't doing this, I wouldn't be watching right now. I'd be going to indie shows, and that's it. Muted.
So, some in the near future, we might be having some Sundays where we're not on.
Yep, yep. And also maybe some Sundays where we're on, but we're not talking about TV wrestling.
Yeah, a lot of exciting things to come.
Yep.
It's just to a point where, at least under Vince, it was disguised as other things, like the WWE Network. Everything was a $9.99 reference, just so they could put the price point out, repeating it over and over again.
And that was a super reasonable price for everything. Now,
Yeah.
that doesn't even get you, that gets you Peacock.
I mean, to me, even though I watch sports, like right now, I'm literally watching the Sixers game while we're doing this. And it's very disappointing. 107-75, New York winning. Like, this is a 32-point swing at the moment, and we're in the back half of the third quarter.
What are that down two or 02 or 01?
Oh no, this would be a sweep.
Oh, this will be the sweep?
Yep,
Oh
in
man.
Philly.
Hey, Douglas Davis, chill out. He's one of the best things we have going in WWE right now.
Dummy. Yeah.
Yes, we can fire Logan Paul. After him and Joe Hendry both go incredibly viral for whatever stupid. Oh man, I actually like that was brought up. Did you see the video with his brother Jake Paul singing the Joe Hendry song and Logan getting upset?
Oh no.
I
I
don't
don't
like
follow
either
these
of these
rules.
guys, but that's great. That was just great. But yeah, like I said, my fear is that a product that I watched when it was completely horrible. And because I watched for the matches and to support and to watch and support the wrestlers I like. Now that's being made hard because now you're spacing out people's appearances. Like we're seeing what the play is now. And it's all cost cutting. For what? Because eventually fans are going to stop showing up. They're
People are
going
going
to
to stop
find
watching.
Yeah, they're going to find alternatives. Now I'm going to say for me it's going to be hard to stop watching just because I enjoy watching pro wrestling. And I mean I watched WCW till its demise, and that was bad.
Yeah, that was real bad. Same with ECW till the end.
I'm just hoping at some point somebody sits there and is like, hey, you need to change this. It's just too much, and it takes you out of the moment and out of the product. Like, I don't mind if there would be like a minute of ads during a PLE. Whatever,
Mhm.
but then take us into a backstage segment. Take us into something that's hyping something, a video package,
I'm starting to see now
something, anything.
why they changed the nomenclature from pay-per-view to premium live event. It was just a subtle change to just kind of take a step in the direction that they were going.
I mean,
Oh, wonderful.
in all honesty, why wouldn't they? Just like something else, we kind of touched on this yesterday, I want to say, or before a little bit. The crackdown on content creators, which everything I saw had one thing in common. They all did the stupid split screen thing of showing WWE footage with their reaction. Well,
Like
what
they
do
know
you
they can't do that.
they just let it go for a while. But guess what? These people are posting so many clips. You're seeing all the major moments that they would want you to go back and watch the show or see it on their social media for
I heard
free.
they're also cracking down on people using audio clips.
Doesn't work for me, brother.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Well, you know what? I wonder how they would handle that.
Are we gonna
You
keep
know,
it now?
'cause,
Just are you gonna find a way to use that word every week?
hey, man, if there's, then there's, I'm not in control of it.
Yeah, just don't
I'm
start
just,
playing it.
I don't know what you went to hit before that. I
Oh,
saw it.
I said just don't start playing any.
All right, now that we just had our fun with sound clips, you know.
Yes, fun with sound clips and mocking WWE. Look, if you're going to talk about our product, don't talk negatively about it.
Oh yes, because we love our ads. We love only seeing in a 2.5 hour show a total of 22 minutes of actual in-ring competition.
Yeah, it's
We
horrible,
absolutely
man.
love that.
There used to be a formula, and if the formula was for like a 3 hour show, you would get 7 matches, promo segments in between, backstage segments, and on PLEs it was 5 to 7 matches. What's up, Alex? 5 to 7 matches, you know what I mean? Backstage segments, interviews, vignettes, all that kinds of stuff. You don't get that anymore. That was like the good kind of predictability. Like now, it's coming and it's not fun.
You know, we might have to take it up here at BJ and DG Talk Wrestling to save pro wrestling. We're not the heroes you want, but we will be the heroes you need.
With the help of our indie wrestler friends.
It just disappoints me, especially when we see so many good things that we can talk good about.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to find the good in all of this because right now things are really bad. And
The TV product side isn't perfect, but it's not horrible. I understand the complaints, but when I am seeing things like the matches, most of them are good. You know, we have some questionable things here and there. You know, where we're just like, why?
it's starting to seem like more often.
No, it definitely is starting to seem like more often. I will honestly admit that. It's just I know they could do better with what they're doing, and the first thing is like with Raw. Raw has one disadvantage that the other two shows have. The other two shows do picture in picture. You give me a picture in picture ad break where I don't know nothing major is going to happen, but it's something AEW perfected. They've had matches end occasionally in the split screen so that people will pay attention to what's going on their screen still.
Right. I mean, and it's not 100% of the time that they're on ad breaks that they do split screen, but even so, it's like enough where it keeps you in.
Yeah, and it's a shorter ad break.
True. Yeah, think twice about going to get that extra beer or making a sandwich, You don't want to miss anything.
So it's a bit of, there's a lot of business side, and now they're just putting their hands too much into the cookie jar.
Yeah, it really feels that way.
And they're like, oh, the fans want Roman. The fans want... Yeah, but you know what? The fans also want to see other talents occasionally because eventually you're going to burn us out. Like, it almost makes me think that the reason Roman's taking a month off now is because he knows if he stays the entire time, the fans are going to burn out of what they're doing. So taking a couple weeks off and not going on the Saudi tour with everything going on in the Middle East right now is a very good move for him.
Yeah.
Because it seems like, and it's, to be honest, this is what makes something a special attraction or a person a special attraction, is that when you can get the fans chanting for him and they know he's not going to be there, and they're still going nuts for him. You know, we saw there was a couple times last night where fans were chanting for stuff right before it happened. Oh, I'm sorry, on SmackDown. They were chanting for R-Truth during the Damian Priest match with Talatanga. You know, and they were literally moments just ahead of his music hitting.
Yeah, it's almost like Tara at the shows. Starts chanting before the reveal.
Like, and I know I've also said this isn't a product that's necessarily marketed to us now, but it makes me question, who is it really marketed to?
That's what I'm wondering. Like, okay, yeah, definitely not us. It feels like it's just upper middle class families now.
And it's not even that. Like, the stories that we're seeing, like, you're hitting the points you need to, but at the same time, it's like, what are we really doing here? Like, you had something with Jacob and Roman. You still do. But the ending of that match last night should have been a disqualification ending, not a
Yeah,
pinfall win
absolutely.
for Roman. Again,
Absolutely.
I'll let them have the mulligan of WrestleMania and him using the steps. It was the referee's decision. In this case, though, this wasn't WrestleMania. It
Hmm.
should have been a DQ finish, and Jacob can still crash out and get a rematch.
Everything happened clearly in the view of the ref.
Like, I just hope that was more of a mistake on the ref, that he was looking that direction and just didn't realize what turnbuckle the pad came off of fully, like his ring
And,
position, more
and
than, hey, when we do this, we're creating a narrative now because of WrestleMania where the ref is going to see this stuff and still let it go. Because now you're taking that. Now, what's the point of any match having rules?
right, right. Uh, yeah. It's I don't know. It's kind of like a wait and see what they have to say about it if they even acknowledge it on.
I feel like they, with the way they did the finish and then Jacob just crashing out, that's a cool can.
Yeah. This is the Mexican lager Que Paso from Farm Truck. I know, Alex. I know. Um, I'll explain later.
Uh, it that just it's just, and that match was absolute great match. Like I said, it was like Raw again, but just with the matches on Backlash, how they really mirrored each other. It was a different pace in the beginning, but once we got into the thick of that World Championship match, it was right what it should have been.
Yeah. Um, not not the best match on the card, but definitely one of the better matches that I've seen from WWE lately until that finish.
And the thing is, all right, fine, that was the finish. Is the worst thing is we all saw the ref see it.
My thing is, what difference would it made in the end between the outcome that we got and the ref seeing that and DQing?
No. All right. So I think the better question would be,
Like in the long
because
run, what's the difference?
there is no difference. You just gave Roman an excuse to have a pinfall victory over Jacob Fatu, which wasn't
Not
needed.
only that, you're taking away, as if you don't address it, you're taking away Jacob's like, I had you beat, that should have been a disqualification. I need a rematch.
Yeah, no. Which tomorrow night we could see that be the case, and we
I
could.
have a feeling they're not going to address it though.
Me too, but until we get there, right now it's a 50-50 chance. But after what we saw last night with Jacob's crash out and then what Roman said at the beginning of the post show, it seems like it's going to be addressed in some way, shape, or form. Because if Roman's going to address him
Oh,
crashing out, then you have to bring up him using that turnbuckle. That
yeah, I didn't
he
watch any post show.
that Roman himself, because that's the thing, Roman purposely ripped it off, and it's kind of looked like he tossed it to the ref. So what I was more expecting was the ref was going to turn around, put it back on, and the Usos, like we thought, would interfere in the match.
Yeah, that would have made sense. Either way, now it just makes Fatu look worse. Unless they address it and he gets his rematch, and then I'm all right with it. But even so, way to ruin the main event of a PLA.
Again, it's one moment that ruined it for me, and it's the smallest moment of the entire match, but it plays out as the camera caught it, and the referee seeing everything happen, he still chose to count the 3 because Roman did it on purpose. Jacob Fatu didn't go into that turn. If it happened on accident, like he's rushing Roman, and Roman's like a foot and a half, 2 feet in front of it, and he just sidesteps, and Jacob goes into it, then no. You could, if they had done that with the referee seeing it, okay, there's no disqualification there because Jacob did it to himself.
Yeah. But no, Roman clearly ripped the turnbuckle pad off, and then he clearly threw Jacob into the turnbuckle.
Which caused enough of it to hit the spear and a 3 count.
Ref watching the whole time.
Yeah. But there are still other things on this card that we somehow transitioned into the main event. All good. Because why the hell not? We're
all over the place.
Talking.
Trick and Sammy.
Sammy and Trick, man.
It's a little disappointing with, not the match as a whole. Just their reliance on having Sammy's attention be diverted for no reason at that point.
And again, they started this before WrestleMania, don't get it wrong. With little things. That was the beginning of but now we're seeing it. WrestleMania, the whole reason he did not win that match is because he went after Lil Yachty, who did absolutely nothing wrong at ringside during the match. I don't care if there's shit talk before the match, because you know what? What do we see leading up to it? A lot of promos, a lot of shit talk back and forth. I'm going to beat you. No, I'm going to beat you. Okay, we get it. You guys are going to fight. But then we get to the match, and again, a situation where Sammy just... Because at the point he went after Lil Yachty this time and hit that haluva kick on the outside, he was in a position to win that match.
Yeah, if he would have stayed on him, he had it. Just hit a blue thunder bomb for the win.
Ugh.
Stupid idiot.
But I mean, that match was exactly what I kind of expected it to be. And again, just the idea, as you said, Sami Zayn has become his own worst enemy. He's more worried. Even on SmackDown, leading up to the match, they did the gingerbread funeral. He was more worried about the theatrics Trick was going through than just getting ready for his match. Like, is everybody here, like, buying into this but me? To the point where he should have known Lil Yachty was in the costume, in the coffin. And at the one point where you think, all right, he's going to worry about everything else but Trick. He worries about Trick and it backfires on him. I'm just interested to see where things go with Sammy from here now.
Yeah, he's going to, probably lose his mind, and he'll probably feud with maybe one of the new call-ups. Or,
I'll suggest this. What if he ends up going to Raw? Do we see him reunite with Roman and the Usos?
No, but
to bring
actually,
that fully back together. Maybe not now, like maybe play up to it, because they could bring him back to being serious again, because it was him going with them that really helped rebuild Sammy to get to the point where him and KO beat the Usos for the tag team titles.
Right.
It was great character storytelling within a bigger picture.
I would love to see him go over to Raw, but not if he's just going to jump into the whole bloodline thing.
No, I think that should be the jumping point. So something else should still happen on SmackDown that would drive him away. Maybe now he loses to a returning Carmelo for
I just
that, and
think you need
to
to have him
himself.
come out on. You just need to have him come out Friday and just like cut a you people promo, and then next Monday be like, oh well, look who's on Raw now.
You know, I guess I wouldn't be totally against that. You know
Yeah,
what?
just comes out and he's like, it's
I could even see this version of Sammy trying to go back to NXT for a short time, help build somebody up there.
right. Yeah,
You know, just because of all the recent call-ups, help because it's a good way to help establish some other stars down there, having a notable feud with somebody like Sami Zayn.
right.
You know, Tony D'Angelo's had a lot of people chasing after him. What would it say for a heel Sami Zayn coming out and just wanting to pursue that title again?
Wouldn't mind that matchup, but I would have to think about it. There's got to be better matchups on there.
That was just an example that I threw out there. You know, a Miles, maybe Miles Bourne, and he
I feel,
tries to go.
ooh, yeah, no, that'd be nice. I feel like also he would be better suited maybe in like the North American division.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Miles Bourne's the North American champion.
Oh, is he now? It's been so long since I've seen NXT. We're
Yeah,
always on air.
he won it at Stand and Deliver, I
Oh
believe.
yeah, we were supposed to stream that, but it was the day before Easter.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't watch it because I fell asleep.
But but yeah, I think this feud's pretty much over now. We might get one more like stupid match on SmackDown, but it'll be some type of no contesting to set up the next whatever's going next. I wouldn't mind seeing him and Mello revisiting their feud so they could both get into a position to chase Trick. I
Right.
think a Trick Dragunov match, if you have it in the middle of all that, would be good. I really wouldn't mind Dragunov appearing on Monday Night Raw to answer the Oba Open Challenge.
Somewhere down the line, definitely.
But I feel like if you mix in some of these other talents as well, like anybody can step up. So somewhere's in the beginning, you get a bigger name. You know, we're not talking about like Randy Orton randomly appearing to challenge Oba.
Yeah.
But it definitely seems like this feud's over for now. Sammy needs to move on to something else now.
Yeah, definitely.
And hopefully, it's, like I said, somebody like Carmelo Hayes. Because I think enough fans are familiar with the NXT product now that they remember this feud from NXT a couple years ago. And NXT's not as isolated from main roster stuff anymore as they were in the past. Like Black and
Right.
Gold was basically super isolated from it. So what?
Yeah, what is that?
Did
Am I
I
gonna have
miss
to
something
Google
while
that?
we were live streaming that? But yeah,
No, it
let's talk
said
about.
if you watch it back, they deleted it. I don't know what that is. I'm gonna look that up.
Oh no, I
Oh,
think CM
okay.
Punk's entrance theme because they
Oh,
played
of
it at the
course.
beginning in that video package.
Yeah. Yeah, I never knew the name of the song.
I mean, this is. But yeah, had also we were talking a little bit about Danhausen. Danhausen and his little clone that was a mini Hausen. As we were still debating on whether it was Leo Rush or Chad Gable defeating the
If
Miz and
Leo Rush
TLC, which
wasn't
was this match was exactly what
if Leo Rush wasn't under contract right now, I would be convinced that that was him.
it was. Max Mini, all right. I'll throw a deep cut out there. How the hell do you miss a dunk? A freaking dunk.
Oh, the Sixers.
I'm sorry, I pulled a Declan Grant there. But yeah, this match was what I thought it was. I thought it was funny doing the whole clone thing. Like, I finally got to see the Smackdown package today for that. And I'm like, all right. Like, just the shenanigans with him. I just, because I was a huge fan of, like, Addams Family and the Munsters, old TV shows and stuff. I still watch it today. So, you know, just seeing some of that stuff come back around and how they're doing, like, some of, not necessarily slap comedy, but stuff along those lines, like the Looney Tunes type comedy and stuff. It's fun. It's a nice relief from a moment of, hey, I'm glad I'm seeing this, but if I wasn't watching the show, I totally know I would see this on YouTube. It's a weird, it's a video package. But
Yeah, it's
hopefully
gonna
this whole
storm.
Miz and Kit Wilson story just kind of moves on now to something else.
Yeah, I can't see it really continuing.
I mean, I can because, well, it's the Miz and Kit Wilson.
Yeah, true.
And
They're
Miz
not
can
doing
do,
much
and Miz,
else.
like, yo, I don't care what anybody says. I've been a fan of Miz. Well, I got behind him once he went to ECW and him and John Morrison started tag teaming together and stuff. And I remember at that time, that run he was on, then I'm like, he's going to main event in WrestleMania one day against John Cena. And it happened. I was just like, I'm happy I got that one right.
Yeah, yeah, I forget what we were talking about. The comment
Miz.
derailed.
The Miz.
Yeah, I've always been a fan of Miz. Just it's so respectable that he's been such a consistent wrestler until like the last 5 years and never been injured.
One injury. One
One injury.
injury.
Well,
That
for
was like,
so
I think
long.
last year. I think that was
Yeah.
last year.
And he went from being hated in the locker room to a locker room leader, and that definitely says a lot for him. I've always not necessarily been a fan of him, but he's never been someone I'm like, oh, this guy. You know, I'm always happy, heel or face, to see the Miz.
Yeah, like he's really done a lot, and he's been very consistent. Very consistent. And he got so good that whatever they give him, he can work with. Like, he figures out how to make it work. Because whether it's comedy Miz or a serious Miz, his or segments I generally enjoy every time I see him.
Yeah, because even when he's serious, it's still that like not believable, but he's dead serious kind of.
I don't know. I wouldn't say that about when they were doing like the SmackDown talk show after SmackDown with Daniel Bryan and
Right.
I think it was
Yeah.
Renee, and they had that moment where he just did like a shoot promo on him. Like, that was one of those moments where it was a lot of real feelings, but at the same time, like, that's how good he really is when he's given the opportunity.
Right. Oh yeah, he can talk. And he can go in the ring. I mean, he's not going to blow anyone away with his ability, but just to be such a steady hand for so long says something. And, former champion. Think he's
A
won everything
two-time,
there is to win.
he's a two-time Grand Slam champion. Which, real quick, so we had this conversation when Tony D'Angelo was declared the first ever Grand Slam champion in NXT. And I countered it with Johnny Gargano did it first. But and that was pre-Heritage Cup.
Right. And
And
wasn't. Oh no, he did have the North American.
yeah, he
He
was
was
the
like
first North
one of
American
the.
champion.
He was the
I
first.
believe.
Okay. Yeah. I was
If
gonna say
not
one
the
of the first.
second.
But
Yeah. Given the history and everything, the original Grand Slam winner in WWE is Shawn Michaels.
Right.
Does he like with the addition of titles, it's like how easy it is that they take that away from people, but they wouldn't take it away from him because of the era difference, which would be the same idea with somebody like Johnny Gargano, right? He was a
Yeah,
Grand Slam winner in a different era of NXT,
yeah.
which would still make him the first Grand Slam winner.
If he really wanted to, he should come back and win the Heritage Cup.
Yeah, he should, But we do have one more match to talk about from last night's pay-per-view, or I'm sorry, PLE.
Backlash!
And I'm kind of glad this is the last one we're talking about. And that
Yeah,
was
it makes
Io
sense.
Sky defeating Asuka,
Yeah,
which they put on a great match. Like, again, none of the matches were absolutely horrible last night by any means. The worst thing
right.
was probably the John Cena announcement. And that's because we were literally given lines and not a lot of information on how
I have
things are
more
going to
questions than
work.
answers.
Yeah. But this match was absolutely great. And the big story is what happens after the match. Io pins Asuka, and then there's immediately a moment after the hands raised, the referee gets out the ring, where we see Io bowing to Asuka, and Asuka is in tears. They hug it out and everything. We were originally talking, like, hey, babyface turn, maybe something along those lines. But it looks like, as well, with social media posts, we may be looking at a soft retirement of sorts for Asuka.
Yeah, one spot in this match that absolutely popped me was Io blocking the mist
Oh yes, with the no, with the with
with the
Wade Barrett's
notebook.
binder or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was. I mean, no, I can't think of anyone ever having blocked the mist. They've dodged it and it hit someone else, but never seen anyone block it, which was it was just a great moment, and it wasn't far from the end of the match.
No, they really put on a great match last night. And if
Yeah,
that's is the last time we see Asuka and she's just quietly moving behind the scenes or something like that, she had a good career in WWE. It will be debatable to see, given how
it could
many
have been used
other.
better.
Oh, absolutely. Like, if I'm going to say anything, her NXT till losing to Charlotte at WrestleMania run was the absolute best.
Yeah,
You know, not that because she was undefeated or anything, just because we knew the quality, and we still know the quality of matches we get with her now. There's
yeah.
no talking around that.
Especially like her and Kyrie, we were saying last night, like they know each other, they've trained together, like they had each other matched move for a good portion of that match.
Yeah, a lot of the matches were like that last night, to
Yeah.
be honest.
I mean, it's on one hand, like I hate only seeing 5 matches on a PLE card. On the other hand, at least the matches are getting their time.
I mean, I still feel like there could be room for one more match still.
Oh, I agree.
Captain Heel, how you doing? Good to see you as always.
Yeah, I
But
mean
do
that's,
you do you think now with everything that's come out since after that match last night, was this Asuka's final match? Could she be
it would make sense.
quietly?
But also, like, I got no indication that it was a retirement. It, like I said, it just seemed like, because I asked at one point after when we were winding down, I was like, so what's next for Asuka and what's next for Io? Or no, when we were winding down, it was in between matches. And neither of us had said anything about any indication of a retirement. Like, to a casual viewer, like, I not be, way past a casual viewer, and I got no indication that that was a retirement. I
I
mean, she was having a match with someone she knew very well. It was an emotional loss. That's all I interpreted it as.
I mean, it was more than after I saw that, and now going back and thinking about it, like the whole crying thing kind of, I guess, is the cue to that. Like, I don't think she's in full retirement, but she could be taking a huge step back and maybe considering ending her in-ring career. And it's not the typical, leaving the boots in the ring type deal. You know, like,
Right.
because we just got that. We've been seeing a lot of that recently. So, it could, if it is retirement, it could just be a choice of wanting to just do it in a different way.
100%.
Yeah,
But then
they
people
need to
aren't
sell
tuning in to
tickets.
see, then, people aren't going to get the ESPN subscription so they can see John Cena's announcement.
Which is another thing, right? John Cena wasn't originally supposed to be at WrestleMania. John Cena wasn't originally supposed to be at Backlash. The original Backlash main event was supposed to play off the main event of WrestleMania. And because Pat McAfee and Jelly Roll both said, no, this is stupid. Why are we being so inserted into something to where, instead of us just being there, we're literally being inserted as characters in the story? Like, they knew it was stupid.
Yeah.
Like, that says a lot when one guy's almost complete outsider. Pat McAfee was around long enough to understand everything.
Yeah.
And for it to get to that point where they're saying it's stupid, okay, we're losing Cody and Randy for this match. Now, so instead of just having a rematch, which, how many times have we seen a WrestleMania rematch at Backlash? We kind of expect it at times. Which surprising enough, this card did not have any rematches outside
Well, it
of
did have
Trick and Sammy. Outside of
it
Trick
did
and Sammy.
it did have a match that should have been on Mania. Io and Asuka. You just cut
Yeah.
the Danhausen stuff, and there it is.
Yeah, but they have to have that too.
Yep, got to sell T-shirts to kids and Disney adults.
But like I said, overall, last night wasn't a horrible show. The John Cena announcement just did feel like it's something that could have been on Raw or SmackDown. But no, you wanted to drive ticket sales because you never know what could happen. Something could happen. John Cena gets physically involved in something. Whether it's a match or not. I'm not saying that. But, somebody comes out, says something, he hits a quick AA, pops the crowd, and there you go. But I did say one thing. It did seem like there were less ads with this show and more in-ring stuff, which I was happy about, but still.
Longer matches, yeah. Like they definitely listened to the criticism of WrestleMania and at least booked the matches to feel longer.
But now it just comes down to you're still. It's like bare bones at this point. Like, we're going to give
Yeah.
you all the big names. We're going to give you all these names, but it's going to be spread out. I also criticize the idea like AEW has too many matches and they're all too long. To where you want to put this many matches on your card, fine. Shorten some of these matches. Not every match needs 25 minutes.
Right.
And WWE had that fine balance for a very long time.
Yeah, they, strangely enough, looking back, they really knew what they were doing for a while there.
I mean, hopefully fans don't stop criticizing so that they get the idea that, hey, you might have people showing up to these shows, but the majority of your fan base is not happy, and the majority of your fan base isn't going to these shows every week.
Well, we're going to keep criticizing, and I would like to think that we're not unique as being wrestling content creators. I would imagine that a lot of people out there aren't just yes men and are going to be up in arms about this kind of thing, and they're going to talk about it. And hopefully, they'll listen.
Yeah, and
But
typically, as
I
we
doubt it.
said at the top of the show, we typically try to spin everything in as good of a way as possible, and in this case, TKO's giving no room to have that good criticism. I can sit here and I understand what they're doing. Doesn't mean it's the right call.
No,
I just understand their side of it.
I can just see the dollar signs in their eyes.
Yeah. But I also do like the idea if talent's not going to be used, let them go work somewhere else where they
I
can be
agree. Yeah.
seen. and
I
get
agree. I
over.
mean, no need like adding time to someone's contract and like wrapping them up if you have no intention of using them.
And it is
You know,
also some of the questionable signings. Like, why sign somebody like Jeff Cobb if you were never really going to use them?
it's not that they weren't going to use them. I guess maybe they hadn't gotten around to it, and then TKO was like, "Hey, we got to get rid of some people."
I feel like the chance was there, and I want to say at most I saw him in 3 matches, maybe 4, in a year
Maybe
run.
one singles match and a couple tag team matches,
Yeah,
which
like
yeah, it's ridiculous.
so, like if he can go wrestle elsewhere and actually do something, let these people go do it. You're not the end all anymore. And even wrestling talents are starting to say that, oh yeah, I would love to be in WWE, but there's better places to be now.
Yeah, yeah. For the nostalgia, for the history, I'm sure every kid wants to be in the WWE when they grow up. But then they see what's really going on behind the scenes, and it's kind of like, well, I still want to wrestle. What else we got?
Oh, cool. There's still TNA out there, which is doing good stuff.
Yeah, yeah. You got the indies, which are just amazing.
That I agree with.
Yeah,
Pre-show,
why not?
and
Sure.
that's the thing now. I guess with the pre-shows being longer, they take away the backstage segments on the PLEs. But how many people are going to sit there and be watching the 2-hour pre-show to
If I
watch
do, it's
a
on mute.
Oh yeah, if I have it on, I'm doing other things. I'm not
Yeah,
just sitting there
exactly.
staring at it. When it was like an hour, where the first half hour was like the rundown, and then we got maybe a match or 2 short matches, and then we got another quick rundown and talk about the main event. You know, something to keep me watching a little bit, because then when I see matches, I'm going to pay attention.
There's only so much I can sit there and watch Big E talk, you know?
But there were other things that did happen in wrestling this week.
Really?
Yeah. We kind of talked about it a little bit, but I have to step away for a moment. Let's talk more about Gunther and the whole thing and some other possible matchups, regardless if he beats Cody or not.
Yeah, so him being on SmackDown opens up a lot of possibilities. When Orton is back, I would love to see Gunther Orton. Dragunov or Gunther's got to happen. There's a lot of potential matchups that come to mind in that case. And like I had said earlier, I like how they played it just to crush any hope of Brock Lesnar coming back. They said that Paul Heyman's favor to Gunther was getting him to SmackDown and getting him a title shot against Cody. I would love to see him beat Cody. Hope he does. Not going to happen. Um, Win or lose, though, yeah. There's definitely matchups for him here. Let me, I feel like I do this every episode. I should just have it already pulled up. But let me pull up the roster and see if I can spot any good matchups. All right. I would like to see him and Damian Priest go again. Not in the current, not with Priest and Truth, but just, once that whole thing has run its course. Drew, that would be a great match. Cardona, no. Definitely Orton when he comes back. Shinsuke, that feel like that would be good as a one-off. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. But yeah, there's definitely some good matchups for him there. And win or lose versus Cody, I think this is a, a move in the right direction. Um, we are going to see probably as I'm losing my voice, we're probably going to see a lot more people going back and forth between SmackDown and Raw. Um, kind of like almost a drip feed draft. Um, but yeah, I'm definitely interested in seeing who gets moved over to Raw um, in the future. But yeah, I think this is a great move, Gunther being on SmackDown.
All right, I'm here.
Good, because I just ran out of gas.
Where were you at here?
No, I was just saying, I think it's a really good move. Win or lose against Cody. I named a couple potential matchups in the future, and I think it's a good move
What were
for the
some of the
roster as a
matchups
whole.
you named?
Priest, but after the R-Truth thing runs its course. Um, Dragunov, of course. McIntyre, Orton when he's back. Oh, I skipped a name here. Royce Keys, that was the one I skipped.
Yeah.
And I would love to see Shinsuke just like a one-off. Maybe like a tournament match or something.
Maybe somewhere's down the line, which would be way down the line at the moment, but Gunther and Trick.
Right, yeah. Once Trek is moved out of that US division and like moved up, because he's definitely within the next couple of years he's going to be contending for, you know, for the big one.
Could possibly be, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah. Yeah, as I look at this roster, I'm like, okay, Orton's not going to be around much longer. Shinsuke's probably not going to, not that he's like in that division at the moment. Um, there's a couple of guys, you know, who probably coming to their peak, and it's just going to be downhill from here. So I think
Yeah.
he could definitely work his way up in the next year or two into that undisputed division.
And the Sixer season's over. 144, 114 final score.
Oh, back-to-back nights. Philadelphia teams have left out of the playoffs, but at least both teams made it to the second round.
Yeah, they used all their mojo on Boston.
Flyers used all their mojo getting into the playoff. They had nothing left when they got in, and they still manhandled Pittsburgh. Ah,
But there's a lot of fresh opponents for him over there. Gunther and Solo.
oh, Solo, yeah. I
Like
didn't even think of that.
there's just a lot of just fresh matchups for him to have, which will be good because there's not much more he can do over on Raw.
Right.
And you kind of want to keep him and Oba apart for as long as possible anyway.
So, and I was also talking about the possibility of maybe someone going over to Raw in return, because they tend to do that, and I feel like there's not going to be a draft, but they are kind of like drip feeding the
Yeah,
roster updates.
Jacob seems like that would be the natural switch.
Well, that like has kind of already happened.
But he's still
Like,
been appearing on both shows in this chase, so it hasn't been made clear yet. That's all with that.
well, as far as Wiki, which updates after every show, he's on the Raw roster and not on the SmackDown.
Well, for the last 2 weeks, since he started pursuing Roman, he's still appeared on both shows.
Yeah, but I think he's been officially moved to Raw, and he's just like still appearing because they used SmackDown to build the Roman stuff also, so it's
Yeah,
probably just them trying to fit in extra, an extra build.
but yeah, like we said, there's fresh competition for him over there, and I think him and Damian Priest may have crossed paths at least once before.
Oh yeah, they have. I'm pretty sure they at least had a match together. Didn't no.
I'm about to say,
Let me
did
see.
Gunther beat him for the world title?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, come to think of it. Man, Raw's got a really big roster compared to SmackDown now. That's crazy. Ugh.
But yeah, it's interesting, like we said earlier, though, that the favor's been called in from Gunther to get him in this position, which means, which just makes you feel like there was plans, and Brock Lesnar was like, "Nope, I'm walking away now." Which, you know, in the end, I'm fine with.
Yeah, yeah, get him out of here.
You know, because you're not, because if you bring him back, you're not recreating that moment, even in his hometown. And that's what WWE would want to do, is recreate that moment.
Right.
Because that was one of the few times we really saw Brock Lesnar. You know, not fully in character or anything. He was actually smiling at the fans and stuff like that. They were chanting thank you. He was saying thank you back. You can't recreate that.
Right. Yeah, that was genuine. I don't see them bringing him back after that. And now, like, we have that confirmation that the favor isn't going to be, used on him. So, yeah, I'm fine with all that. What else? What else happened this week?
Oh, NXT was pretty good this week. As I usually say, like I really enjoy NXT every week.
I did not catch NXT. I heard a little bit about what happened. We're always on air when NXT comes on, so I'm never able to like get off and immediately switch over. So
I
I'd
try
usually
to,
just
and it
forget
never
about
happens.
it. Um, yeah, but I'm hearing some things.
Yeah, we had the NXT debut of Callie Armstrong, which she's not horrible in the ring. I just don't like her finish. It's a setup like the Braun Breaker spear where he goes off the ropes like 2 or 3 times, but instead she does a shoulder block, and it's supposed to be devastating, I guess, because of the speed. I just don't buy it. Like you're using the most basic move that's usually used to open a match, or John Cena's 5 moves of doom as a
Yeah. Hey,
finish.
try hitting a DDT for a finisher. That'll be an improvement.
That'll put butts in the seats.
Yeah. Ugh.
We had a
Did
Fit Finley appearance this week.
oh wow, no way. Well, I
Yeah,
guess yeah, his kid is there. And they're
we
doing the whole
had
second generation thing, right?
yeah the birthright.
Right.
We had a video package for Evil, which now he's Naraku.
Naruko. Uh
No, it's Ku.
Naraku.
Yeah.
Naraku, yeah. So yeah, apparently all the rumors about Nox Raijin were incorrect. Uh which is hilarious. Could be people putting out false information, could have, who knows, but
Or it could be something that they could be holding for somebody else.
yeah, yeah, could be, but are they going to raid New Japan now?
We'll see. They already
Um,
did that, and that's how we got the MFTs, and we see how that went. So,
and Jeff Cobb. Oh, yeah, MFTs. I'm thinking the Tongans. Um,
a
did
very interesting match this week. Jackson Drake of the Vanity Project pinned Jasper Troy. One, two,
Oh, no
three.
way. Wow.
Yeah. But also, we had a video package with them later where we got the return of Noam Dar. And I guess
I did hear that.
a call up from Evolve to NXT. The first person's name is Romero. I didn't catch his last name, and when they did say it was like some weird name, I'm like, what? And like I rewound it even twice and still didn't catch it, so I'm like, okay, whatever. He still has some like artist type gimmick.
Let me see if I can find it.
Um another thing that happened, Dark State beat Hank and Tank, but we're still seeing fracturing within the group.
Romeo Moreno.
There we go.
That's a tongue twister right there. Romeo Moreno.
Hey, Wyatt Wrestling.
What's
How
up, bud?
are you doing?
Thanks for stopping in.
Thank you for stopping in. We always appreciate it. But yeah, we had a pretty good segment with Zarya coming out. First time she's been back since defeating Sol Ruka in the last woman standing match. And she's talking about chasing the North American Women's Championship. That brings out the champion, Tatum Paxley, who's eventually brings out Lizzie Rain, who just debuted, and Nakia Lyons. So
You
there's
know
going to be
what?
a... Go
I
ahead.
am all about Lizzie Rain.
Yeah, me too.
Her
Me too.
energy is just magnetic.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
am
she is
all
a
about
blast
it.
to watch.
But it looks like we're getting a tag team match with Tatum and Lizzie Rain versus Zarya and Nakia Lyons next week. So that should be an interesting match there. Kind of surprised Nakia Lyons is back on TV because on NXT with how heavily they've used her and involved, and just like quietly pushed her back after coming back from injury.
Oh wow. In the
Oh,
chat.
classy Mike Trash in the chat. How
Well,
are
hello there, Mike
you?
Trash. I heard that hi in a megaphone voice.
I actually thought I heard a megaphone. Yeah, she does look like she has lost some weight.
So like I figured Evolve was kind of like her, it wasn't a demotion for her, but it was kind of like her getting back to full health. And then I figured she would, get called back up.
I mean, I also think because she's on the new season of LFG, that they're featuring her a bit more as well.
Well, that makes sense too.
Hey, opportunity.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
exactly what that is. Let's see, going through my notes here. We had a mixed tag team match with the Calling, Izzy Damon, Nico Vance defeating Mr. Iguana and Lola Vice.
Was it for the belt?
No, it was not for the AAA mixed tag team champ. It was a non-title match, which you would assume now. Not only will they get a title shot, but that because Izzy pinned Lola, she's going to get a future championship match.
Right.
I only watched season 1 of LFG. I never really got around to watching any of the other seasons. It just felt like Tough Enough to me. Just with like a twist of like The Voice or one of those shows like that.
Yeah. A little more modern,
Yeah. Yeah.
a little more smart.
Jada Parker had a crash out after her loss later in the show, too. She crashed down in the locker room, and then when she finally settles down, Natty appears like, oh, I guess what they said was true. You have gotten soft. And then walks off. So a pairing between them two, or even that, would be interesting to see.
Yeah, or even a rivalry. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the main event of NXT saw Tony D'Angelo defeating Tavion Heights after a lot of other stuff that happened with Cam Hendricks and Tony D'Angelo getting into it backstage, to where Cam was kicked out of the building and still appears during this match, which brings out Miles Bourne just running through the ring and doing a swanton dive all over the rope to the outside. Was a great spot and just fought him off, but that moment also cost Tavion Heights the match. But the bigger news, this is another thing, like another champion that just has a line of challengers ready to face him.
Well, that's how it should be.
After the match, Tony D'Angelo goes to pull Tavion Heights up out the corner, and they go to shake hands, and then we get the indie wrestler who debuted and they've been posing as a fan, Will Cross, coming out. He attacks both of them and yells into the camera. His name is Mason Rook.
He he's been getting a lot of praise on social media and a lot of heat on social media.
Well, that sounds about right for the IWC.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Which means he's making an impact.
Yeah, haven't seen anything, don't know what he's capable of.
So I've seen a lot of videos of a wrestling promotion like and school I follow on Facebook for a long time, and he was in a ton of their videos. So I'd see also clips of matches he had and stuff like that. For his size, he can move.
Yeah.
It's going to
So
be
he's like
interesting.
maybe a Keith Lee, Samoa Joe kind of.
No, he's bigger than Joe. Not as big as Lee, but along those lines.
Right. Like the mobile big guy. Okay.
Kind of like a more high, maybe a smaller, more slightly compact version of Vader.
Okay. So like Ruckus.
No, but he's bigger than Ruckus. You see what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to find that. No, if we're comparing anybody to Ruckus, it's Don Freeze.
Oh no, they're I swear they're like
Don
they're
Freeze
each
is a
other's father.
clone. No. Don Freeze is a clone of Ruckus.
He was cloned from Ruckus's saliva from a discarded blunt.
Oh man.
That one GCW show, every time I walked by them, they were just sitting there talking the whole night.
But yeah, and then I said something earlier about the whole Dark State beating Hank and Tank. But it looks like they're starting to tease a split up of that group, or just the idea now. Because it seems
Yeah,
like they are not on the same page.
which like on one hand, it's like sure, as long as you have a character for both of them ready to go, because neither of them are going to work if they break up, but they're just the same character.
Yeah. Another thing I've been enjoying, I can't wait to see him in the ring for NXT, and that's Tristan Angels. He had a really good video package this week. But yeah, as always, NXT is cooking. Noam Dar's return. That was setting up a match with I think Jackson Drake next week.
It's great. Like it's been long enough where I've
So
watched NXT
that's
and
going to be
like
fun to look into.
it's been long enough that I've seen NXT and like watched it consistently, and so many things have happened and so many people have shifted around in the last couple of weeks. It would be like watching a whole new promotion if I tuned
Yeah, I can see that. Oh, wow, yeah. Something else we really didn't bring up. Ted Turner passing away this week.
in. Rest in peace, Ted Turner. If it weren't for him, so many things we have now in wrestling and we take for granted wouldn't exist. Wrestling would have never gotten as big as it did in the 90s. And those 86 weeks. I was there for all of them, and it was a great run.
Also, indie wrestling lost pro wrestler Brax fatally as well. Oh, Ryan Milky, how are you doing, sir?
Yeah, young guy, deathmatch wrestler, shot in the street in Philly. It's a
Yeah.
shame.
Go follow Ryan over at WrestleRealm 316. But yes, very tragic in this case. And as you said about Ted Turner, really pumping money into WCW, starting the Monday Night Wars, competing with Vince, which helped really shape that era of wrestling and going forward. And then the same thing kind of happened with AEW that really made WWE step their product up. And then now we look at that and they're regressing and AEW's built. Everybody, it seems like everybody in wrestling is really going trending up while they're trending down.
And everything is cyclical. I really think we're coming to a time when we get that competition again, where AEW is looked at as an equal to WWE. Because there's going to be a lot of people jumping ship soon.
Yeah, and I mean not just that. WWE has the recognition of being around for 50 years.
Right.
They have history with them. Some of the greatest moments have gone through them, and then when they bought WCW, they got to shape that history how they wanted it to look and be talked about.
Yeah.
If you didn't live through that, you don't do the research and you only know what WWE tells you, you're getting a very minute part of that history.
Like, if you ask someone who doesn't watch wrestling, like, name a wrestler, they're going to say Hulk Hogan, they're going to say The Rock, they're going to say Stone Cold Steve Austin, and there's a dozen other names I could think of. Someone,
John
John
Cena,
Cena.
Batista.
Right. They're not going to say Sting, Darby Allin, MJF.
They might
You know
say
what I mean?
Sting. They might say Sting.
Maybe if they're our age.
No. I'm just saying that because of his, even though it was a short run in AEW, Sting also did in the last decade have a run in WWE.
It was like a month,
It was
not even.
it was more than a month, but that's a
Okay.
difference because he had the match with Triple H, he had the match with Seth
Oh,
Rollins.
that's right. He did have the match with Rollins. That horrible, horrible match with Rollins.
No, you mean the horrible match with Triple H?
Well, the buckle bomb with Rollins is what injured him.
Well, yeah, it had a horrible spot in that match.
But
The
no, his
build up
match
for
with
that
Triple
match.
H was horrible too. But yeah, no. My point was, you ask a non-wrestling fan, and that's the names they're going to name. All WWE guys. Like AEW isn't, traded. You know what I mean? It's not there yet, but in the next couple of years, if
Yeah,
things keep
yeah.
going in the direction they're going, like I could definitely see another Monday Night Wars.
I mean, just some of the matches that were bangers is just on the Dynamite portion of their show this week. Mox had a eliminator match with Juice Robinson that almost went to time limit. It was
Yeah, I
a
saw like
great
5 minutes of
match.
that.
Orange Cassidy defeated Dax Hardwood for the conglomeration to earn a tag team title shot.
Oh,
To
very
where
nice.
if Dax won, FTR and Ciampa would have gotten a shot at the trios titles. It was
Okay.
like a
Yeah, I
double Jeopardy match.
I told you I saw the first 5 minutes of Dynamite. My mom was over and she's like, "Yeah, let's put the Sixers game on." So
Okada and Brian Keith had a decent match as well. Let's see here. Sheeta and Statlander versus Mina and Harley Cameron was okay. And another complete banger was Darby Allin retaining his AEW championship against the TNT champion Kevin Knight.
yeah, I got to go back and try to find that one. Is that on paper? That just sounds like an amazing match.
Oh, it really was. It was a great match. Like we have this Will Ospreay story right now. He was just cleared to return for next week, as in storyline.
And he's
Even
been
after
training
that,
with the Death Riders.
when they went into the collision portion for their 3-hour broadcast this week, they continued with the celebration afterwards. Like Sting came out, raised both men's hands, congratulated them for a great main event because Sting was there for a Ted Turner tribute. They did.
Right.
And that brought out MJF still demanding his rematch. And Darby tells him that if he wants to rematch, he has to put something on the line. MJF says, like, I'll put my diamond ring. I'll give you $1 million. I'll put that on the line. Darby Allin says no, and he tells him if he wants a shot at the championship, he has to put his hair on the line.
Yeah, the memes are everywhere.
Um, which at that point also, after MJF gets mad because Darby Allin says if you don't show up, you don't get the title shot to sign the contract. So I'm
So does
guessing for
this mean?
Double or Nothing is going to be hair versus title.
Well, so I'm guessing this doesn't mean that if Darby loses, he also gets his head shaved.
No, his title is only on the line.
Right,
Unless that
right.
changes between now and Wednesday. I mean, after that, MJF leaves. Okada comes out and he calls out Darby Allin for his match next. For the match that was supposed to happen this Wednesday. But due to family issues, he had to go home. So Takeshita will be taking his spot. Still a match I'm looking forward to. Like, Dynamite has been doing good stuff. AEW's been doing good stuff. It sucks that I don't have usually enough time to watch Collision or something like that.
Just more wrestling than time.
Because even Collision's been good. This past week I didn't see the match, but Jack Perry lost the national title to Mark Davis, which was something I didn't even talk about. The demand is challenging Chris Jericho and whoever else he can find a team with him to a Stadium Stampede match at Double or Nothing. That looked like the Hurt Syndicate's going to be involved with that. Jack Perry said he's going to team with Jericho. So it should be interesting. I'm interested more to see who the Demand will have team with them.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, nobody likes him.
You know, I saw something where it said the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega were going to be involved with the match. And I'm like, then why did the Hurt Syndicate come out to save Jericho? So I might have to go back and watch that just to see or find the clips online. But yeah, Backlash was a decent show last night. I get the finish with what happened afterwards. I just feel like for that main event, it could have just been done slightly different and still gotten the same thing. If last night was the last we saw of Asuka, best of luck to her and whatever she does. One of the things I saw was maybe she's going to go into a backstage producing role. Good for her. I think she can help a lot of the young talent. Especially considering they have more Japanese talent than they've had in a while, minus Kairi Sane. So there's a lot to look forward to. When BJ gets back, his mic's muted, so I'm assuming he's doing something water related.
Yep.
Backlash!
But yeah, I guess it's time from anything we've seen for our match of the week.
I have a feeling we're gonna have the same one.
Okay, go
Breaker
for it.
Rollins. Breaker Rollins.
You know, I felt like that at the beginning of Backlash. Then we got to the main event, and I'm going through that match like good, and then we get to the finish. And then everything that happens after the finish, and it sucks that it's that one little minor thing that overshadowed everything else I saw. Because I kind of have a tie. Darby and Kevin Knight, and then Breaker and Rollins.
Okay, yeah, I didn't catch Dynamite, so I'm super I'm gonna have to go back and watch that match.
Or at least go see
Um,
the highlights of that match.
yeah.
Like,
Uh,
Darby and Knight put on a show.
actually, actually, let me just see. Yeah, sticking with it.
Yeah, no, man, I feel like Jacob and Roman still up there for me. It's just, it's really hard because we both literally had the same reaction to the end of that match.
Yeah.
The one little moment outside of everything else, I'm like, all right, you still could have done everything else. Why? especially if you're going to do a rematch, a no DQ finish plays into that much better than Roman picking up the actual win by
And
pinfall,
like I said, I hope they
and makes
address
him
it, and
have
I
to
hope
work. Yeah, and it
it
makes
leads to
Roman
a no
have to
DQ.
work. Yeah, and it makes Roman have to work for that pinfall to get that victory over him. Because it was it felt like a really cheap cop out.
Yeah,
Because they didn't
and like,
want Jacob being pinned cleanly, and they didn't want Roman dropping the title yet.
and if you're gonna do something cheap, don't main event a PLE doing it. You know,
I mean, just do it right.
well that too.
Do it right. But yeah, we will be back tomorrow for the Raw after show. And then after that, Indie Spotlight on Tuesday at 6, where we will be talking about SPO Live Presents Dodgeball. Which, just by the way, this eight
Oh
man
my
tag
God,
was absolutely amazing and fun.
balls flying everywhere.
Yeah, and then hopefully as well, we'll have more information about this week's show, Viva la Bill. Which just that picture of Billy Gold of
Yeah,
his face,
yeah,
that's absolutely great.
yeah. We had just to give you a quick like run through of the dodgeball event. Uh, not and I'm not even talking about every match, but we had Skull and Bones versus Genie Underwood and Ryan O'Neal, which was a great match. Doctor Redacted versus Feral Face. Oh my God. Uh, that match was absolutely brutal. Uh, the triple threat with Boom, JJ, and Reaper was really, really good. And of course, my boy Kid Legend taking on Alex Rivera. That was a really good match as well. Declan and Stife was even really good. Well, that wasn't the how it ended up. Twitch couldn't
Oh
make it, so
yeah,
so Declan took on Stife. But that was even a great match. Yeah, very happy with that show. Can't
yeah, and
wait to
then
talk
even
about it
this
Tuesday.
match changed some.
Oh yeah.
So lots of stuff to talk about come Tuesday.
Yeah, we had 9 matches.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
And we're working on locking down a guest, or two maybe. You guys will be very pleased if we can lock these people down.
But yeah, it should be interesting tomorrow night to see the fallout of everything with Rollins and Breaker, Roman and Jacob. Hopefully, and then even Io and Asuka. Like a lot of last night's show was Monday Night Raw oriented, which is why I was hoping the announcement would be, "Hey, these some of these PLEs that aren't joint shows can become brand split." So we get, because I feel like there's another thing to it where the build to some of this, like we literally just got out of WrestleMania. 3 weeks later, we did Backlash. They did Backlash. Now, 3 weeks from now, it's going to be Clash in Italy. So in the matter of 9 weeks, we're having 3 PLEs. So imagine if Backlash, and as an example, Clash would be a joint show, but if it wasn't, both shows, or at least the following show is another one where Clash is just both shows, both rosters together. Like you're giving these shows time for some build.
See,
You're
the
giving
only reason that never works is because they can't keep it separate.
Well, now back then they could.
Well, I
Back
mean, back like when they first did it
Yeah, that's
25
what.
years ago. Yeah. I'm talking about more like 10 years ago, back in 2017
Well,
when they
that's when they
had.
stopped. Well, they stopped it well before that because then everything became super shows.
No, I'm saying, well, in 2017 specifically, they had brand specific PLEs except for Mania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series.
Nah, they stopped all that well before that.
I'm telling you, it was 2016 or 2017.
I
Yeah.
think it was.
I'm
I'm
looking
gonna
it up.
look it up.
Because even in like the WWE 2K video game on like the
Oh
Dynasty
wow!
mode,
All right, no. Wow, you're closer than I am. It was after the night after WrestleMania 34. WrestleMania 34 was actually the last show in that rotation.
what year?
All right, so hold on. So hold on. They did it for originally for 5 years, '02 to '07.
Right.
Then the shows came back together, and then they tried doing it again, and they just couldn't get it right the second time because you don't look back like, hey, we actually did that right, but we had a reason to end it when our roster because then that was when
Well, it didn't work because of stuff
ECW
like,
got added.
oh yeah, yeah. But then like more recently, the 10 years ago, um, it or 8 years ago, I guess, it didn't work because it was like, all right, these rosters are separate. We have separate PLEs, but we have the wild card rule. It's like, it was like any excuse to get people on the other show. And it was just the weirdest thing. It's like I thought you were trying to make these like separate
Yeah,
brands, but
yeah,
like,
without using like some type of weird story excuse or something like because one match that happened with that, which was an explainable reason, was when they did Finn Balor and AJ Styles because Bray couldn't make it for some
yeah,
reason
right. He had
at that
MRSA.
point, and we got a yes, it was something like that to where like the
Him and
match just completely
a bunch of
changed.
people had MRSA infections.
Yeah, because it was supposed to be the Demon versus the
Not the Fiend.
no, I think it was the Fiend.
No, Fiend came later.
No, so it was just Bray then. All right. And it turned into Finn the Demon versus AJ
Was it
Styles.
was it the Demon versus Sister Abigail, maybe? Bray
No.
and Drag? But yeah, no, that was from that era. It didn't work back then because, like, if you're telling me everything is going to be separate, then the only time I should see a Raw versus SmackDown competitor is either at Survivor Series or in the Rumble.
Or something that's a spill out from one of those pay-per-views. Like say something
No,
happened. Well, no, I'm
no.
saying
They're
as
ruining
in
it by
the
doing that.
no. All right, but say something happens in the Royal Rumble. All right, so we're just going to do this at the pay-per-view. But you're not combining it's just those two guys and you isolate their story to either show. So like that guy for the next 3 weeks is going to be on SmackDown telling
I
that
have
story.
no. Vignes.
No, because you
Vignes.
have to have face-to-face interaction at some point. You can't keep it all via satellite and video package.
And that's what frustrates me. They can't just keep it separate. They can't help themselves. They have to
But
have people on the show they're not supposed to be on.
I'm saying it's better to give me a storyline reason over, oh hey, there's this wild card rule, so we're just doing this and we're just plugging random superstar in with no story at all. And nothing to launch it. It's just like they're coming here having this one match and then they're gone again to where it's like, okay, you're giving us a match we want. You're going to give us something where we're going to want more than you're never going to deliver.
Like
At
the
least if
fact
you
that
give
it
me a
happens at
story,
all, like
like I just
if
if you're
you're
going to,
telling us you're going to do something, do it, and don't find excuses to not do it.
but I'm just saying in the case that you're going to come up with a reason that you're going to throw two higher mid card names and something happens and there's going to be this one blow off thing. Fine, give me a story reason why, not the wild card rule or something to where
Right, but why can't they just work with their rosters? They have plenty of people. Why do they have to, like,
because you still just need it a little because they're going to come together at points as we know at that time. It's just when you're not booking it, especially 2016
yeah,
to
the Royal Rumble and
2018.
maybe Survivor Series.
Yeah, WrestleMania and SummerSlam, both rosters would be together as well.
Together, but not in the same matches.
Well, I'm talking a one-on-one storyline blow off, not like Survivor Series or well, now you would have King of the Ring as well. That should be both shows coming together. But I
Yeah,
feel like now with the
but
way
then you're not
WWE,
saying,
no, with the way
but,
WWE,
but then you're not saying
but with
people
the way
take,
they're set up. Well, I was going to say, but with the way the shows are set up now, and the way they've done it the last 2 times, there was a Raw bracket and a SmackDown bracket.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
what I'm saying. You're not going to see cross brand until the finals.
Yeah, not like back in the day where it was still with 2 shows and they tried doing it each time. At least that's a storyline reason why, hey, we're going to allow stars for King of the Ring matches to be crossing over so that we can get all these matches in a couple weeks.
And you know
Yeah,
what? I'll
that's
even give
a
you Money in the Bank if you want to put
yeah, no,
three and
but yeah,
three in Money in the Bank.
it would have to happen, money, but that would be isolated to
Would
those
it?
matches.
Would it? Or could you just be like, all right, Raw gets Money in the Bank this year. Next year, SmackDown gets it.
No,
Because that's what they did back in 2016, 2017.
yeah, yeah, and then eventually what they had to do was with the introduction of women's Money in the Bank. After you had Money in the Bank for each show, the Raw and SmackDown case, but women's Money in the Bank, now you're going to have 4 briefcases floating around. That doesn't work to where the Money in the Bank holder can
Right.
float from show to show because that gives them a storyline reason to do it.
Yeah.
And it's not
Yeah.
just a random guy. That's what I'm saying. You give me a storyline reason why, regardless of the reason, I'll be
Or just don't
slightly.
do it.
Yeah. Yeah,
I would
maybe
rather than
apart.
just not do it than like do it and give me a stupid reason.
Now, Money in
And
the
by
Bank
stupid,
isn't
I
a
mean the
stupid.
best storyline reason you could ever come up with. Yes, that's stupid. Keep him on his show.
I mean, outside Money in the Bank, because Money in the Bank would make sense if you can cash in on either world champion. And
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you have to have someone consistently. He could just show up once and cash in.
no,
You
no.
know,
At that point, he shouldn't even appear on the other show. If that would be
that's
the
what I'm
plan,
saying.
like,
Yeah,
because then to where you can still have those interactions at PLEs and stuff.
but then you immediately move him to that show.
It's all a matter of maximizing what they have, and that's what they're looking at.
Yeah, they're just looking at it. They're trying to make as much money as
And
they can. We're
I
fans
mean,
looking at it and saying how like we would enjoy it and how like, we're being the voice of the fans and saying like this is what we would like. It's a different we're miles apart there.
I just feel like in the end, it's because one, the landscape of wrestling has too many championships.
Oh yeah.
Like
And now
like
WWE's had another one.
even our conversation when it comes to world championships, like the World Heavyweight Championship, even Roman said it after he won it or whatever, was created because of the death grip that he had on the Undisputed Championship and the Universal Championship, which that championship just became defunct because of the fact that they just combined it with the WWE Championship.
Right.
And you know what? The only reason there's another world title is for both shows need one if the champions aren't always going to be appearing. But at the same time, they did for a short time in 2002 and it worked just fine. They gave us a storyline reason why, because Brock Lesnar didn't want to go over the Raw and face Triple H. So
That's
Hair Bishop.
2002 though.
So, but now we fast forward, as we've said, they without reason hotshot people on the shows like why the night after WrestleMania was Cody Rhodes opening Monday Night Raw. Why wasn't that saved for SmackDown?
Right. No need.
He just got punt kicked. Why is he even on Raw?
We even said, oh, we probably won't see him for a couple weeks.
Oh yeah. And now he's cleared to return, so at some point him and Gunther's going to happen. Which I can kind of see them taking the belt off of him now.
I hope
Like
so.
put that belt on Gunther. Because we know that Roman's not dropping that title anytime soon. If last night was an indication that they're going to go out of their way, even when people know that Roman should probably lose. And my cam is just all glitchy, so like it's ridiculous. And at the same time, like I said, it's like even now, like why have the Usos been in backstage at SmackDown? Like, and I think, why the original brand split worked so well is because after it happened, we kind of would see if a Raw superstar showed up on SmackDown, that locker room was kind of going after him, like, you're in our territory. This is our arena, not yours. And we would see it vice versa. And it would always fall out and it's like bragging rights or Survivor Series or something.
That's another thing. They always do the draft and then immediately Survivor Series. It's like you're supposed to have brand loyalty when you've been here for a month.
Well, the last time they did the draft, it didn't go into effect until after WrestleMania. But yeah, back at that time, because they would do it at the beginning of the fall season for TV
Yeah.
shows.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. The best Survivor Series like concept was NXT versus SmackDown versus Raw. Uh, but I really miss those traditional like 8 or 10 man elimination tags. Like we don't get those anymore.
Like, I feel like if you were to have still do war games, like, because they're not going to stop doing war games. Every other match you
Right.
could, like, literally that is an excuse for a 4-match PLE with two traditional Survivor Series matches in between the war games match. And if you need some short other match, you could throw in a singles match in between all of that.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, I didn't care that every match was a Survivor Series match on the card with one or two
No,
normal match, maybe a WWF Championship match,
because
because of
they
the
booked them all differently. It
and
wasn't
they
the
were
same thing every time.
and it was some of them were a bit more serious because we had ongoing feuds that intertwined into it, where stuff had already been crossing over. And then we had other ones that were completely ridiculous, like Doink and the
Like,
Mini Doinks taking on Jerry the King Lawler and all the Little Kings.
let's not forget the Undertaker's debut.
No, yeah, Survivor Series has held great moments. I mean,
Yeah.
even recently, Randy Orton and CM Punk returning in the same night. But I do miss those traditional matches. I really do. Just like I miss King of the Ring being a one-night tournament.
Yeah.
Which, if they were to ever go back to that concept, you literally have a built-in excuse why that should become a 2-night PLE. Because one day's the men, one day's the women. Because
Right.
you can't hold two tournaments in the same night unless you cut it down to like the quarterfinals or whatever, so that we see all the other matches play off across the brands, which is fine. It would just be ridiculous to try to do two tournaments in one night.
Right. Yeah. Matches would be like 2 minutes long.
But I think on that note, I don't have much else to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, we covered pretty much everything.
Yeah, we did our birthday wishes and all that stuff. We had Classy Mike Trash appear in the chat today.
As well as Ryan, Milky, and Wyatt,
Yeah,
and Captain Heel.
Captain Heel. Yeah, so we'll be back tomorrow night for our Raw after show,
Yeah.
which happens at 10:30 or as soon as Raw goes off the air if it's after 10:30. Because I'm tired of being on the air at the same time they are. And then Tuesday, Indie Spotlight. Which I gotta update
If
these graphics. These graphics
if
really need
there's
updating all of a sudden.
if there's one BJ and DG Talk Wrestling show you can catch every week, make sure it's Indie Spotlights on Tuesdays.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun stuff. And a lot more
You
stuff
might
coming
not
soon
you might
with
not
us.
know anybody we're talking about, but we show footage because we have
Yeah,
permission.
exactly. And also a lot of exciting stuff that'll be upcoming with Danny Ora and the Wicked Works side of stuff. We're bringing a lot of that stuff together now. So we could be seeing other indie talents that we've never talked about on this show appearing here in the future. Our reach is getting further and further.
It is, it is.
Which shocks this guy, like the streak ending.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of other exciting shows coming up too, like Sideshow Pro, June 14th, Flag Day.
That's going to be a blast. That last one was amazing. Can't wait for the next one.
Yeah, Tuesday I'll have more of the graphics for that.
And that's a Saturday show?
Sunday
Show. Oh, afternoon show. All right. Well, we might not be on that day. Or maybe late.
But yeah, once again, happy birthday to Kid Legend. We'll be using his thing for the outro. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And until next time, that's BJ. I am DG. We are BJ and DG Talk Wrestling. Be good to each other, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow night after Monday Night Raw.
What's up? This is Kid Legend. You're watching BJ and DG Talk Wrestling.